might deviate from that attraction. So just because she's attracted doesn't necessarily mean something's going to happen.
Right.
Not all the time.
And I'll say this about attraction. In some cases, a woman's attraction or willingness to submit, in most cases, actually, in my opinion, I don't think a woman has a choice. I really don't. Because a woman, from my view, a woman responds to her emotions. Now, look, you can have all different types of women. Just look at this panel. And just because Jay Roman is wearing a blue shirt, he's going to get the pussy for that particular woman. Right. And then there's another woman who's like, oh, my God, I can't get over that Run DMC style. You know, I got to give K-Zag the pussy because that's like I think it's just a way. I think it's just when it comes to attraction. I think once a woman is attracted, I think it's like falling dominoes. Right now, this is why I never subscribe to that whole saying where guys say women are the gatekeepers to sex.
No.
And men are the gatekeepers. Men are the gatekeepers to everything. But it depends on the woman who is in the influence of the man. If like you said, due to her upbringing or what, sometimes you have a window of there's a week in a woman's menstrual cycle where she's just fucking horny ridiculously. Mm-hmm. For a lot of women, not every woman, but there's a lot of women out there where there's a week or like 2 or 3 days in their fucking ovulation or menstrual cycle where they're almost ready to give it up to anybody. You understand? And if you're in the realm, if you happen to meet her during that window and you just say the right shit or you just say something, she'll fuck you. You get what I'm saying? So when I know things like that and I know how emotional a woman is and how once that emotional influence kicks in, she's a slave to it from start to finish. This is how I know. This is why I'm so willing to blame men for everything that happens in relationships. This is why I don't give women the all that credit. This is why I don't ask for women to be accountable for shit, because I know that you're a slave to your fucking emotions. So when you see this bald dude with shades, you know what I'm saying, with my beautiful shirt, and I'm talking my shit, and I got my beard and my accessories are blinging in your face, and you just love the way it sounds. You can't help yourself. I know this. It's up to me to be responsible with your vulnerability as a man. You see what I'm saying? So attraction is not a choice a lot of the times. It's really not. And another thing too, and I've said this in the video, this is why guys need to believe in themselves. And shout out to LeBron for the $20 super chat. He said, shout out to the real ballers out there spitting that game. Peace signs. I want to say this too, man. Did I lose it? Dudes, what was I saying? Oh, right. Dudes need to believe in themselves. Dudes need to believe in themselves. And the reason is this. There's a lot of women out there that they have a subconscious attraction to their DNA tribe. Do you understand? So this is why when niggas watch these, you know, when niggas is on these podcasts and they hear women say, well, I got to get with a man that's 6 foot this and he got to have a 6-pack and he got to make 6 feet. Listen, you should never walk away from an opportunity because just because you're not 6 feet, if you go say hello to the right chick that comes from a family of men in her family that are short dudes, you could be in there. You understand? Bro, there are women out there like you'll see these interracial relationships. And the main reason why these two people fell in love is because she was a black chick that grew up in a white neighborhood. Do you understand? But the overall narrative is, oh, well, I better not go try to meet no black chicks because ain't no black chick gonna want me. But that black chick over there grew up in a white neighborhood. And if you go over there and talk to her, she's gonna open up for you, bro. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I try to tell guys, like, just as easily as you can get rejected is just as easily you can just step to a chick and say something. And because something about you will initiate that emotional influence, And then at that point in time, you're the one responsible for everything, because she's just going to be a slave to whatever she's feeling and whatever her psyche has told her to be attracted to.
Well, let me say this: sexual attraction is biological.
Mm-hmm.
Lust is psychological. So you're talking about of the mind and of the body, right? So to your point, Miles, in certain situations, a lot of times when a woman is sexually now, when it comes to like physical attraction, that's a choice, right? A woman can decide either you look good based on the visual, either I like the way you look or I don't, right? But when you talk about sexual attraction, that's a feeling that a woman gets, whether she was expecting it or not. You know what I'm saying? She could like the question, the guy was asking the question, women know within the first couple of minutes whether or not you are a guy they could potentially want to have sex with. That's true. But during that interaction, she can still change her mind based on the feeling that she gets. So there can be times where a woman gets a feeling where she's attracted to you and she's overcome by it. Right?
Exactly.
It's not even necessarily a choice. It's she's overcome with this innate desire, you know what I'm saying, to want to fuck with you heavy, right? So a lot of times when guys, when it comes to attraction, you have one group of guys that oversimplify it. Then you have another group of guys that complicate it. You know what I'm saying? And it does have complexities to it, does have nuances to it, and it does have simplicities to it. But when you truly understand how to conduct yourself as a man, you just know how to move. And you're not necessarily thinking about all of these different things. You just know they exist, but you're not thinking about them.
Exactly. For real.
That's the world I live in, Zach. I simplify things a lot. And the easiest way to simplify things is know what you can control. And the best thing I can control is myself. How I look at myself, the outlook of self, the discipline of self. Those are the things that I can control, and that's what I look at. So, if you're looking at me and you think I'm fresh, cool. If not, cool. Like that don't even matter. So, like we know, attraction enhances a lot of different things. I think sometimes everybody wants to control outer and understand outer so much that they forget how much work they need to do on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Boom Thrust says any game on date ideas for Valentine's. I understand if y'all don't celebrate. I don't celebrate Valentine's.
Yeah, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
I like the name though, Boom Thrust. So I don't celebrate Valentine's until after enough time period has gone by with a woman who has shown me their dedication, shown me consistency, and then it's able to be done. Okay,
Right.
but I think just too many guys get swept up into that. This is just a cultural norm, and this is what we do. And for people who haven't really shown any kind of consistency in that regard. But from what I've tried Steve's idea, and it is fire. I've tried that shit where, so just to run it down for anybody who hasn't heard it before,
Mm-hmm.
you get like a few things that she'll like. Okay, I'm not gonna. It could be something generic if you want to do a little teddy bear, chocolates, or whatever, or if it's something specific to that woman that she really enjoys. But they're small, right? And then you arrive early to whatever it is. So typically people go out to a nice dinner. Fine. You get to the restaurant early, and you say, I've got a reservation. That's gonna be my. Oh, you're in that table. All right. Who's my waiter? You find out who's working your section. You give those things to the waiter, and then you tell them to bring out a gift every 10 minutes, depending on, because it's going to be busy, so they're going to be running around, but just say, hey, do your best to bring one of these things out every 10 minutes. I got you on the tip, so there's going to be extra in there because I know that's a pain in the ass for this busy night. So
Right.
you make them feel great about helping you out, okay?
Right.
Learn their name, use their name so that they feel that you give a shit because you are putting them out by doing this. So every 10 minutes, he's bringing something extra out, right? And what that's doing is, yes, you're kind of giving your woman this spike of emotions, but what's even better is that you are dominating every person in that room, because every woman's going to be noticing this, like, damn, like every 10 minutes this dude's coming out and bringing this woman a gift, and it's not even him presenting it, it's the waiter. So it's like, she'll think like, wait, how did the waiter get the shit? Oh, he planned all this stuff way beforehand, like 10 moves ahead. And now she's looking at her dude like, damn, I wish that was me. So you're literally playing everybody in that area that can see what you're up to. It's some serious mind fuckery if you're into that sort of thing.
Right.
I've tried this once before, and
Love
it's
it.
a hoot. It is a hoot, man.
Put your hands up, Steve the Dean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to Steve
I
for
just
that
stole
one.
it. I just stole it. Put your
Yeah,
hands up.
I tried that shit. Oh my god.
I might do that shit on like an anniversary or something like that, or her birthday, something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to be for Valentine's
See,
Day.
I don't go big on none of those days. I do stuff on just odd days when I get the feeling, right?
Mhm.
And so one day I told her, like, hey, if you want to trade all these different days for one day, you let me know. And he was like, no, okay, because you know that even my kids come Christmas time, I can get them one gift and they'd be like, cool, Dad. Because throughout the whole year, if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing and the school is cool and everything like that, I'm gonna hook you up. Dad, can I have that? Yeah, no problem. Go ahead and get it. Or I'll come home with it. Boom. I thought you might like that, son. I thought you might like that, daughter. I don't want to do it on a day where everybody else is supposed to do something. I don't like to be told what to do. That's mainly how I get to where I'm. So my thing is, I love that idea, and I'm gonna do it on a just a random ass Tuesday.
Right.
Just
There you go.
let's roll to this restaurant, and we're gonna do it on a day, and people are gonna be wondering, is it Valentine's? Is it your birthday? Is it no? It's none of that. It's
Mhm.
just because I want to do it,
Right.
and so this it is. But I love the idea, though. I'm
Yeah.
glad you
The
said
difference
something.
is that
Justin.
being Valentine's Day is that there's a lot of expectations coming from guys. So because it's that, with what you're doing with these little gifts, is that it's mind fucking everybody in the room. You know.
Yeah.
So, but if you got a DS thing going on, like stuff that I promote, you have your girl go in with like a vibrating butt plug that can be activated through a controller.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
those things are fun.
Then you give it to the waiter and say, "Here, you can use this whenever you want." All right. And then you give him a big tip on top of that.
Hey, you know what? Never done that. I don't know if I'm there yet, Justin. I don't know.
I'm not giving nobody else.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm there yet.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a plug. It can be a
know.
wearable vibrator when it's attaches to the panties, whatever.
Yeah,
you want to do.
Right.
Panties,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got the remote at all times. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's
No, but it's a different thing because she trusts you. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, now this guy is gonna have it, and he could be like fucking crazy with that trigger.
Yeah.
Or completely
that's the new
forget
one.
to use it, and now she's like, huh, I expected this thing, and you're like, I still fucking you in the head. Shout out to 1950.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So real quick, we good on call, right, Miles?
Yeah, we're gonna coast.
Hey man, we ain't gonna be here forever. We got shit we gotta do, people. We got a life too. 919-647-9392. Call in.
You got me thinking, Justin. That's a hard relinquish of power for me.
Yeah,
I like to
well,
have
no,
control.
because it's not a relinquish of power. The waiter's working for you. He's doing what you're telling him what to do.
You're delegating. You're
Exactly.
delegating.
It's always under my control.
I see it. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm just.
It's not for. I'm just saying. There's
right.
like a lot of things that you can just put your thinking caps on. If you're going out on Valentine's Day, you want to do something fun or whatever, you want to do something different. Just get your thinking caps on. Get out of the box of what has been fed to you by culture of what's acceptable. You know.
If my server is a hot woman, or if I think she's attractive, then maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's another guy, I'm like, no, you don't. You don't control fucking stimulating my bitch's vagina.
Last time we did this, it was too sporadic. I like the way he did it every now and then.
Yeah, I like the way he the button.
And then be like, Jay, can we go back to that restaurant? Is Brian working still?
No.
We both asking for Brian. Hey, Brian, is he here today?
Is Bridget working today?
Brian did it really good, and I like Brian.
Because Bridget has a vagina. I want Bridget to work the fucking button.
Right, she'll know.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Man, y'all are wild. Hey, if y'all got a question, look, it's 1:49. At 2 something, we out of here.
Right.
So if you want to call in. The phone number is 919-647-9392. Again, gentlemen.
Does that long dude ever call in? Or he just there to kind of like
he just wanted to troll. It's like
he trolls
those guys who watches a lot of shit and makes him think that they know something.
Yeah.
And then they want to come in here and listen to us skipping across the very thin surface of the game.
Yeah.
And then they think
Oh,
they're
okay.
hearing something,
Okay.
and then they come in with their comments thinking they're saying something.
So
Right.
that type of guy, he's still lying to himself then.
No, no.
Uh,
He
but see,
watches a bunch of Alan Roger Curry videos. Shout out to him. But then thinking that now he's got an understanding of the game, and it's like, no.
exactly. A lot of these guys, they hear shit, but they don't actually live it.
Right.
And
No.
they think because they like Justin said, they think because they garnered this knowledge that they can actually hold court with people that actually live it for real. And it's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
no.
you can read a dozen books on fucking mountain climbing, but until you go out there and you're faced with the challenges and you're like, well, either I do this or I'm dead or whatever, you're not going to be able to have that real knowledge. You have to have boots on the ground over and over and over again, and with anything to have any kind of say.
There you go. So what are we talking about, gentlemen? Why you should never make concessions when dating. Everything you do in this game has a consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I want to bestow upon all you men listening right now, and even you ladies, even y'all too. But mostly for you men. In the very beginning, okay, and we talked about this. I'm not the first person to say it. What you do in the beginning is sets the precedent for what comes later. This is why it's important that you establish boundaries and parameters in the very beginning. And what I want guys to understand is that as much as we all can look at an attractive woman and say, that's a woman I would like to go talk to, or as much as we might enjoy a nice sexual encounter with an attractive woman, you cannot let that be the thing that controls you. That should not control where your standards lie. That should not control how you move with women. At the end of the day, I can see a woman that I find to be attractive, but if she doesn't move within the confines of my standards, it doesn't matter how good she looks. That's irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter. And Miles, you said something earlier about negotiating compatibility. So a lot of guys don't even know what compatibility means. A lot of people really don't. You know what I'm saying? You really fucking don't, right? So for me, the basic definition of compatibility is existing in harmony without conflict. That's the basic definition of compatibility. So if you make a suggestion to a woman and she turns that down, and then you come in with a secondary suggestion, you guys are automatically not compatible. You're automatically not compatible because there's nothing harmonious about your interaction.
Facts.
Because now you're stepping outside of yourself and you're trying to do things that you think would be appeasing to her.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because she got something that you want. And here's what I never understood. Just on some prideful shit. When do some of you guys ever get to the point where where you got something a woman wants? Like some real shit.
Dick is a gift.
You never put yourself in position where you actually got something that outside of money and outside of just your attention, right? Where you actually got something that a woman wants that she is campaigning and auditioning to get to, right? Like Justin, you said the young lady called the train 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that there were other guys who would have invited her out. She probably would have said, I'm not driving or I'm not getting on the train for 2 hours to go see that motherfucker. I'm sure of it, right? I'm sure she wouldn't have did that for every single guy. So my point is this. A lot of guys are so thirsty for pussy, they never ever put themselves in position where the woman actually sees the value in them.
Right.
Beyond what that guy can do for her to prove that he's worthy of the pussy.
Yeah. And like we've all seen this before. We usually like younger guys where we've had a friend and they start dating a woman and then like some time goes by and then you meet up with them or something like that and he's changed into this other dude and you're like, wait a second, bro, you're vegan now? What? You know what I'm saying? And she's like this like vegan yoga chick and incense and crystals and he's got like a crystal around his neck and he's vegan and wears like handmade clothing. You're like, what the fuck just happened to you? Right? Because that's what happens. That's what happens when you make concessions. You end up morphing into whatever her program is all about.
Exactly.
And if you
Exactly.
think about it on a deeper level, if you think about it, well, not even really a deeper level, but if you just think about it, because I know we do the pineapple show on Wednesday, and there's guys are always doing the same thing. What do you like to do?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Yeah.
do you like to go? Because, like, and when Justin said more, that made me think about this, where guys are always trying to do things to fit the type of guy they think the woman is looking for,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my thing is, and this is what, and if guys really really think about it, this is one of the reasons why you failed to be consistent in a relationship, because you spend a whole relationship trying to morph into something you think you need to morph into to not only get the woman but to keep her. And whether women know it or not, there's something very disingenuous about that, right? At what point are they needing the real you if you're
Mm.
always acquiescing to them?
Facts.
Yeah.
That's it.
And one of my biggest issues I have is, so you did it once, right? So, and you realize it didn't work. You morphed into this person. You were wearing matching shirts in the mall. You were doing all this goofy stuff, right? And you still lost her.
Right.
It didn't work. So at what point do you say, I might want to do something different? Right. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that gets me about people. They do the same thing over and over again. And it just depends on how hot she was and what she looked like and how she made me feel. Instead of saying, you know what, there got to be a different way than this, because it don't turn out right. It don't turn out the way I want it to turn out. At what point do a person looks at themselves and say, I got to do something different? Because the consistent thing in this is me.
Yeah.
And it didn't work in this relationship. It didn't work in this relationship. It didn't work in that relationship. And I'm not saying all relationships are going to work out, but at the same time, you won't feel bad in this one. You won't feel bad in that one. You won't feel bad in that one, because at the end of it, you're like, yeah, I'm cool with me. I know exactly who I am, what I'm looking for, what I want around me, what type of person that needs to be with me. And that's my standard that I'm gonna hold up to.
Right.
And I think that there's one thing that discipline, certain characteristics that you need in relationships. And to me, a lot of individuals just aren't mature. They're not mature enough to be disciplined, not mature enough to say, this is what I stand for, not mature enough to say, hey, I don't care if you walk away after I make this statement.
Yeah.
I'm fine with myself. And when I talk to a lot of the youth and a lot of individuals, that's one of the main things I talk about is, right now in society, I don't think there's a lot of people that are mature and should be in relationships.
Right.
The way they
Oh yeah.
behave and where they want it all about themselves, or the way they want, things to go, and this unrealistic ideal of relationships, and it really shows people in their maturity level, where it's like, yo, if you cannot control self, how can you be with anybody else to show them yourself? So
Yeah.
So I agree. Most people should not be in relationships, both men and women. There are a lot of people who don't have the mental capacity and they're too emotionally weak to be in relationships. A lot of people. Right now, some of y'all motherfuckers who are married right now and girlfriend, boyfriend relationship, y'all too. So some of y'all don't need to be in relationships because y'all got issues. But go ahead. Y'all got it.
Yeah. Well, after 4 months, I presented my woman with a basically like a terms and standards, and it wasn't or like terms and conditions. That's what it is. So I presented a document. I mean, a short document, just a small list of terms and conditions, and because certain things were coming up, and I had to nip it in the bud and say, look,
Mm.
listen, it's going to be these are the things, and I listed them as just maybe like 5 things, and as just like a basic you know agreement is saying like, look, this is what it is, this is what I expect, this is what I don't want to see, this is what I don't want to hear, and this is how it is. You have complete full autonomy, complete free will to come in and do that or to not do it. And I'm not going to twist your arm. I'm not going to beg for you to be here. I'm not going to pander or anything like that, because you're a grown person with a fully functioning mind. You can choose. Okay? But if you choose and you follow, there will be good rewards. All right, you'll be treated well. But there's no position to be in here complaining about what it is. There's no trying to change what it is. It's this is what it is, and you say okay or not okay. And it's like if she's there, she's following. If she's not following, she's not there. It's that simple.
We got a question there, Mr. Dan.
So he says, even with the woman with whom you are compatible in many ways, there will be differences in what we want or what our ideas are. What our ideas are, because after all, we are different people. Bro, you're not going to be compatible in the sense that you agree on everything. No, of course there's differences. Look, gentlemen, when we talk about compatibility, okay, as the man, you have a certain way you conduct your life, a certain way that you live, right? You might hear us say things about vetting and having a program and a certain structured way of living. When you deal with women, you should only be dealing with women that go with the flow of that and not against the grain of that.
Facts.
That's it. See, she can have, like, you can like horror movies and she likes fucking rom-coms and shit, right? You like fucking hip-hop music, she likes fucking blues and whatever. It's okay. You don't gotta have, you can have certain things in common, and maybe there's other things where you don't have in common. You don't have to have a bunch of things in common to be compatible. At the end of the day, is this woman willing to follow your lead and to relinquish any desire to want to be in control of shit? That's it.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you can work with her. I got it.
I think it's more like difference in lifestyle. I think that's more important, right? So let's say the woman you meet is a homebody. She doesn't like to go out. She likes to hang out at home. Let's say she's into like hobbies and crafts and things like that. She just likes to chill at her home, very relaxed. You are a club promoter.
Yeah.
You're standing out there. You're at the clubs, fucking hammering all night long. You're fucking doing coke off of women's tits. You love fucking house music, club music. That you're like in it. You guys are not going to be compatible, even if you both like horror movies, you both like hip hop music, you both like a certain type of clothing, you both like the same kind of food. It's just not going to work, right? So I think if you have like compatible lifestyles, that's going to be more conducive to a decent relationship. But there's always going to be concessions on her end. Okay. And so when I'm looking at these sort of things, I look for the least amount of adjustment as possible. Okay. So you could have your program, and a woman's always going to have to adjust a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Always, because you're specific. We're not generic men out here. So she's going to have to make some adjustments. It's just, are those adjustments a lot or a little? If there's a lot, that's going to lead to resentment. If she tries to do it, it's eventually going to lead to resentment. She's going to fucking hate it. If it's a little bit, she can get over that, and you can help her make that transition, and there'll be far less problems.
See, and you said something, Mr. Justin. You said lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's like, if you're the type of dude where you hang around the house a lot, you don't really do a lot of traveling, but she's a party chick, she's always jet setting here and there, that might not be the chick you should get into a relationship with. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with her. It's just like Justin was saying, she has a lifestyle that's not predicated on your own, so it makes no sense for y'all to get together. Because what do you hear guys complain about on the internet? Oh man, don't date a chick who is always going out with her girls, or she's taking girl trips. Now, their reason for saying it is because they're insecure about her cheating. That's why they say it. What we're saying is, if a woman has a lifestyle that doesn't match yours, then maybe that woman shouldn't be in your life seriously. Maybe casually, but maybe not seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I got some very older gentlemen that I speak with and talk to, and they are different than their wives. Like, they roll out, they take trips to overseas and all sorts of stuff. However, their wives don't take, girls trips. They take vacations with their husbands. We were all talking, and the wife said, "Why would I want to go anywhere without my husband?" Right? That was her expression on, going on a trip. The girls were trying to get together, and she was like, "Nah, I'm good." Now, me and him, we didn't went on trips and everything, but for her, why would I want to go without my husband? And to me, that's where it's at. Like, if she submits to that authority and listens and do things the way you like them to be done, you guys can do different things. However, under your guidance, under how you like things to be done. And to me, that's how it works. I know another guy that, he spends all his money on fixing up on old school cars. I mean, like he breaks the bank on, good thing he makes enough money to do so. But the amount of money he spends on fixing on these cars is ridiculous. His wife, however, might complain, fake complain, but at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, that don't matter. Like, bring me my sandwich, please. And that's it. And I see these guys operate, and the thing that's consistent is, one, she's gonna let him be him, and two, she still respects his authority as, the man of household. And I think when those things happen in a lineup, then you can have different things, or your lifestyles might be slightly different, but the consistent thing is, her understanding, your direction and how you're going to live life together.
Well, she understands the assignment. She understands the role that she's been allotted in, and she understands the assignment. She knows what she's supposed to do within that role, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And she accepts the leadership, and that's the most important part. She accepts the leadership. She don't
My
fight.
sympathies to that guy, with the cars and shit, because you get into customizing automobiles, man, it just sucks away everything. But it's like an addiction.
It is.
You can't stop because these companies keep making new fun little things to put on your vehicles. I do it to my bikes, and it's just it's terrible. It's terrible.
Hey, there's worse things to spend money on, bro. If I don't have any game, can I still talk to women with just a normal conversation? Richard, you irritate me, bro. You watch us too long to be asking this question.
I don't want to. Are you a young guy? Is Rickster a young guy? He sounds like a young guy, especially like this anime video game character.
Late 20s, if I remember correctly. I think he's like late 20s, Rickster.
Okay, well, first put your face on there, man, instead of these like anime characters, right? So you got to start thinking like a man to then behave like a man. All right, your thoughts precede your behaviors.
So normal. A lot of you guys are worried about getting played, and the reason why you're gonna get played is because you don't deal with women on your terms. It's very simple. Number one, you should not be going out in the world overly concerned about what these women are gonna do, and end up all you're doing is playing defense. Right? You can't even really enjoy yourself, because you're always looking for something fucked up to happen to you. That's not the way you should be living your life. But as far as being played, the only guys that can get played are guys that are easily manipulated by beauty and booty. Those are the guys that will always get played.
Yeah.
I would like for Rickster to call up, because I need to know what the fuck is normal conversation, and I need to know what being played means. What do we mean? What are we talking about? Getting cheated on? Getting manipulated? What are we talking about exactly? Like, what the fuck are you afraid of? That's the question.
Yeah.
How do you get played in normal
like
conversation?
You like a girl a lot, but she's not liking you back? Because that's what a lot of guys think played is. But here's what I would say. Go get played. Go get played a lot, okay? Because there's no sense. I mean, like, Miles, you box. How good would you get if you won every sparring match you were in? Like, if you just dominated every sparring match, how good could you possibly get? You know what I'm saying? And that's what these guys want to do.
They just fucked up.
Right. They want to go out and they just want to win.
Right.
They don't want to have any bumps and bruises. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to have any kind of discomfort. They just want to feel good and safe and feel like a winner, right? They want to play like the video game on God mode with all the cheat codes, okay? You don't grow that way.
Right.
You don't grow. You grow by getting your ass kicked, right? You grow as a boxer by boxing with people who are far better than you, right? And with anything, you want to play in a band, play with people who have musician skills that are far better than yours, right? Any skill, any knowledge, surround yourself with people who are smarter and better than you, or throw yourself into situations where you have to adapt. You have to learn, okay? Because unless you're a complete fucking knucklehead and you just keep bashing the head with experiences and you don't learn, well, then you're just fucked, all right? But most of us have at least a little bit of wherewithal to be able to sit back and go, all right, wait a second, this is just not working out. Let me think differently. right? And that's the beginnings of trying to learn, because part of game is being able to be extremely observant, right? And not from an emotional perspective, but from more like an engineer's perspective, and just looking at your shit and going, okay, what do I do? I don't like this, this, and this. How can I make it not that? Right? And you can't get there unless you're throwing yourself into certain experiences again and again and again.
Exactly. They call it exposure therapy.
Yes, exactly.
And what's so crazy when you're talking, Justin, it also allows you to understand how you interact with the world and not the cookie cutter program that you see,
Yep.
maybe on online where, hey, if you do this, you'll get this answer. No. You might not get that answer.
Exactly.
Just like, me in 1950, we hang for a long time. So, but I'm not him and he's not me.
Right.
I'd smile and joke around. He's the guy that's staring in the club like somebody owes him some money. Me, I'm around having a good time, but we both have a great time. We both come out with great experiences. So people have to understand that when things are said, you still have to learn how it applies to your personality, how you communicate, how you do certain things.
Well, I would go as far as to say this as well. All four of us can deal with the same woman and have 4 different unique experiences with that same woman because we're all unique men. And based on the fact that we all are individual men and unique in our own way, that woman is going to respond to us based on that uniqueness.
But I go first, though. I'm just saying.
So this is what I would say to
go ahead, because I'm just want to know if you can cook. That's one of my first. Can you cook, and what do you cook, and what's for dinner tonight?
So what Rickster doesn't, I can't even talk. Hold on. What Rickster does not understand, and what other men do not understand, is how women treat you is typically based on how they perceive you to be. Right now, perceptions aren't always accurate, right? But most of the time they can be. So what a guy's got to understand is when you first start conversating with women and dealing with women, they're automatically going to form a perception about you. And one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to prove them wrong, or you're going to prove them right. Oh, you are that guy I thought you were. Right. So what happens is, if you come across like a guy where you can easily be manipulated or deceived, and you pedestalize women based on attractiveness and pussy and all that other shit, once women figure that out, well, that's their perception of you. You are a guy where you pedestalize beauty and sex. So once that happens, women already know you don't have too much of a standard. You don't have too much of a substance as a man if those things can move you so easily, right? So why would a woman respect you? Where's the incentive for her to respect you?
Facts.
Where is the incentive for her to add any value to your life? Because you're showing her with the fact that you pedestalize booty and beauty that you don't really require much of her outside of that. So she doesn't. This is why I say a woman can deal with one guy and she don't do nothing for that guy. She just shows up and looks cute. This other guy, she cooking this nigga's meals, right? She folding this nigga's laundry. And you're looking at her like, why is he getting that, but I'm not? It's because she perceives him to be one way and perceives you to be another. Really y'all got
it. Yeah, we could get to another question if Rickster don't want to call in. And guys, call in. We only gonna be here maybe another half hour. Call in, guys. It is 919-647-9392. 919-647-9392. All right.
What are you nervous about?
So he says, even if I'm nervous, I should still approach women regardless. Your emotions? Y'all got emotions?
Here we go.
Yes, wise for
we get right back to that. 862, you're on live on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got K-Zag, Mr. Justin, J. Roman, and Miles. What's going on with you, bro? Name Age City. What's going on?
Yes. Good afternoon. This is Rickster from Brooklyn, New York. I'm 33 years old.
Oh, Rickster, what's up, bro? All right. All right. So yeah, what are you talking about when you say normal conversation, and what do you mean when you get played? What are you talking about, bro? Expound on your question.
Well, to be honest, I was just over into my emotions because of what happened on Wednesday. I was calling to the Pineapple Show about like it was some other thing. But the thing is that it's leading me back to where I was. Like, okay, so for example, what I did is about like long walks on the beach and everything else, right? And I kind of used that in order for me to make a girl like me because I want to be accepted into society. And I guess I've been like breaded into that. And because of that, I guess I was a victim to not a victim. I I was not a victim. I made the choice that I made, and because of that, I got played by so many women because I thought that pleasing a woman would be the right answer, so that way I could get what I want.
I'm bothered that you use the word victim. You could try and take it back, but it came out of your mouth. Like what you say, Miles, the language exposed to you, you said it. You said it. You said it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you did correct yourself, though. I'm glad you did correct yourself.
So even if after listening to us, you realize that's not a word men should be using, at some point in your life, you felt you were a victim. Even if you don't believe it now, you thought you were at some point, correct?
Right, correct.
That's what I thought. First of all, let me just say this to all you so-called grown fucking men watching and listening. Men are not victims in a fucking dating game. Okay, I don't care if your chick throw hot grits on you. You know what I'm saying? You're not a victim. You know what I'm saying? You're not, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, if your chick is doing violent shit to you, you chose the wrong chick, and you probably deserve that shit. You know what I'm saying? So look, let me say this.
It depends on how hot those grits are.
let me say this. And look, and I'm not wishing harm to anybody, but what I will say is this: if bad shit is happening to you in a relationship, and you continue to stay and suffer through more bad shit, that's really kind of your fault. You know what I'm saying? Because you stayed for that shit. Right. I just want to point that out. That's what I'm really. So caller, this is what I want to say to you. So what you're showing me with what you said, right, is that you have no sense of self-respect, you have no sense of self-value, no sense of self-worth, and you believe that a woman is more valuable than you, so you have to do whatever you got to do to win her affection.
Right.
And
but
then the question extends deeper than that, though, because it then opens up another question, which is why? Why do you want that? Okay? And you yourself and a lot of guys, because you're not alone, man. Why is it so important to have that acceptance, the validation, all that stuff coming from a woman? And if you keep asking why and trying to dig, you'll get to the root of that stuff, and that's where the answer is. And once that becomes dismantled, then you can it'll change a lot of the behaviors and how you see things, how you perceive women.
Right. I already know where it is. The main course is the main core of this is back in high school, where I was new to all of this. Everything always go back to high school, meaning that hey, you're trying to figure out who you are, who you're going to be friends with, who's going to be like.
I can't listen
to all that stuff.
Hey, Rickster.
Yeah.
Rickster, I'm gonna have to stop you, man, because I can't listen to back to high school excuses. Right? when we are younger, we act and behave as younger, but when we get older as men, our reasoning changes. So we have to think of things in a new process because we're a little more mature. We see information and we read it and we take it in a different way. So if you could say, hey, this happened back in high school, well, then I can twerk my mental thinking and understand how I started to believe that, but don't believe it now. So I'm not going to act on it as if I still believe that I'm in high school. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can't, That's the one thing, I know psychology, like, hey, in the past, it all goes back to when you're a childhood and do. But once you recognize where it's at and you have the maturity level and the mental level to say, okay, I know I acted like this then, and this is where it came from, but I need to think differently because that was the most immature state I was
Facts.
in high school when I was a adolescent. Right.
Right.
So now, why do you still believe that's the way to go? When you have so much data between high school and now that says it does not work.
You're right. You're definitely right about that.
So again, normal conversation, and can I still talk to a woman with just normal? Like, what do you think? What exactly do you think game is, Rickster?
Game is all about you.
Okay, game is all about you. So if it's all about me, then why can't I have a normal conversation with a chick, let her know exactly what I want to do because it's all about me, and continue that way? What are we talking about? Like the problem, and because when I listen to your questions, it's like you're mystifying and making game magical. It's like, no, motherfucker. You see a girl, hey, what's up? How you doing? I had this crazy idea that maybe we could go get a drink together. When are you free? It's that fucking simple.
Right.
Like, what is it? What's so? Oh well, a normal conversation. What? So you like to talk about toothbrushes and toothpaste? That's a normal conversation, right? But if you was to ask her out on a date, that's somehow a different conversation. What are we talking about?
You're right. You're right.
Like you guys, you put this extra pressure on yourself because you always think, man, I gotta be as smooth as a pimp if I could manage to get a bitch to like me. Oh, I gotta act like Miles to get a bitch to like. Oh, I gotta be dom. I gotta be in some dom submission shit like Mr. Justin to get a woman to like me. Stop. Focus on you for real. Mm-hmm. Focus on you, because listen, there's a little bit of Miles in you. There's a little bit of Justin in you. There's a little bit of Jay Roman in you. There's a little bit of Zach in you.
Hey man.
I'm not participating in that circus act y'all talking about.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is, you want to be as smooth as a pimp, but I'm saying find the smoothness in Richter. You want to be as confident as Miles. Find the confidence in Richter. You want to be as dominant as Mr. Justin. Find the dominance in Richter. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, bro. We're all connected, and there's parts of you that are similar to every man on the planet. But you need to look at yourself and fucking find it and stop putting all this pressure on yourself. It is a normal conversation, bro. Every word out of your fucking mouth is a normal conversation. What are we talking about?
Come on, Miles. I got the answer for him. Caller, here's the remedy. Stop giving a fuck what women want. Stop caring.
Now, what they think, what they say, or any of that stuff.
Yeah, none of that. And here's the thing. Now, when we talk how we talk, people think we have an issue with women. No, we love women, and we've all repeatedly said that. It's not a lack of love of women that makes me say, stop giving a fuck what they want. It's not your job to give a woman what she wants. It's her job to get what she wants. It's not your job to give it to her. Okay, your job is to get what you want out of life. Part of getting what you want out of life is you have to deal with a woman who is compliant to such an extent she doesn't make things a challenge for you. So all you do is what Miles said. Hey, would you like to grab a drink sometime? Her response to that fucking question is going to tell you whether or not you continue the conversation. It's that simple.
It's real simple.
Rickster, Unique brought up a really interesting point here. How many different accounts do you listen to on YouTube? Like, just roughly speaking.
How many accounts? It's just you guys. You guys make my what's it called? My mindset a little bit more differently. Before I met you guys, it was like a lot of red
bunch of stuff.
Right?
It was a lot of red pill stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But There's still a little bit in me, but not all. I mean, there's
That's
still a
fine.
little bit in me left,
That's
but
fine. So when I used to be a personal trainer, um, people would come to me and they say, they always come to you with the idea that like they don't get results, and that's why they were coming to a personal trainer. And I would ask them, well, how many different programs have you done in the past like couple of years? And usually it's a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that they would go from one thing, and then when things didn't happen fast enough, they go to another, and then to another, and then to another, then to another. So they had too much variety and not enough consistency. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, listen, pick one thing and do that strictly for 6 months. Then come to me and let's look at what your results are like. Okay. So the same thing is with learning about yourself. Like if you're the reason why I asked that is because I was concerned about how much inputs were coming into your head. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're listening to all this different stuff, it can get confusing or overwhelming. So I would say to just try to simplify things, okay? Because it doesn't matter who you're talking to. If you like what they're doing, you trust what they have to say, it all leads back to the self. Everything Jay talks about leads back to the self. Same with Zag, same with Miles, myself, Lucario, Steve, 50, everybody, no matter what their pathway or their style or their message, all of us come back to the self. Always. All pathways lead back to the self. It's just a matter of what you're looking at, how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we were talking about overcomplicating things and simplification and stuff like that. That's what I think. It's just like if you're worried about this and that and what to say and what to do, how to show up, what is game, what's being played and all that stuff, it just gets too much. Okay. Learn who you are, learn what you want, and stick on what that is and stand on what you believe in. And that will be much more valuable than learning how to talk to women because it's like I've known guys who are really good at talking to women, but they were weak men at their core. And it's
Right.
like, so how good or valuable is that skill at that
Yeah.
point? You know what I'm saying? You're just a good salesman. Okay, and
Right.
Let me ask you this, Rick. Do you like the walks on these beaches that you've been taking?
I like long walks, but you never on the beach if I'm with a woman. But I do like to have like long walks by myself. I
Okay,
like to have long.
well,
so
then
you
that's
you
something you
do
can
you
bring a
do that
woman.
frequently with yourself,
Yes.
and
And
then,
sometimes I like to wake up early in the morning just to see the sunrise because it feels peace. I'm at peace. I don't usually tell anybody about that, but yeah,
I would because I wouldn't care what nobody else thought about it.
Yo,
You
you
know,
you in Brooklyn, you said?
yeah.
Check out Breezy Point down by Coney Island. Breezy Point Beach. That nobody goes to that beach. It's a pain in the ass to get there, but it's a fantastic beach. So if you like that, that's something that you can bring a woman on. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of cliche, like walks on the beach, but this is actually something you like to do. You know? So, but I'm saying check out Breezy Point, man. It used to be like old military sort of thing going on there, and it's all just like emptied out buildings. Nobody goes there. It's basically you have the whole place to yourself.
Let me piggyback off what Justin
Okay.
just.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But hold on, before you go, Rickster, let me just piggyback off what Justin just told you. You talked about that's something that you like to do, and that's what guys need to start doing. Introduce women to who you really are. Part of that is if you want to meet up with a woman, have her meet you someplace that you frequent, right? That's going to give insight into who you are because that's what you like to do, right? So not only are you introducing her to yourself as far as hi, my name is, but you're also introducing her to your life to one degree or another. See, a lot of guys, the reason why y'all struggle being consistent is because you're always manufacturing something to get the woman to like you with or for,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And oftentimes it's hard to keep that up for an extended period of time because you were never doing those things for you. You were doing it because you thought the woman would like it, right? But if you introduce but you gotta like yourself, Rickster. If you don't like yourself, it ain't gonna fucking matter, right? But if you actually love yourself, is probably a better word. And if you introduce a woman to you and to the things you do, you never have to worry about being inconsistent because that's you. Food for thought.
Right.
I think too, like there's no 100% all the time that every time you talk to a woman, she's going to just fall in love with you.
Hell
And
no.
I think sometimes guys are after this, facade of Mr. Smooth that every time they say this 100% thing and, ooh, they always, and that doesn't happen. The only 100% you could have is you being cool with yourself.
Exactly.
Michael Jordan said a statement, and I just, ever since I heard it, it stuck in my head. I found the poster, I had it on the wall, and it said, "I fell over and over again, and that's why I succeed."
Right.
And the thing is, everybody's so afraid to fail, they don't succeed because it stagnizes them and it just freezes them from doing things that I would say is natural. Talking to another human being is just natural. I get in the elevator. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Oh man, that looks really nice. Where'd you get that from? Oh, I like this. I like that. All right, you guys have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out. To me, things are just so natural just to talk to somebody else. We're always putting this fail or success rate on it when it's just interactions.
Yeah.
You seen her, you said, "Hey, I think you look pretty good," or whatever you said to her. "Want to get a drink?" "No, no, thank you." "Okay, well, you have a nice day."
That's it.
That what did you gain or lose from that?
That's what I'm saying, man.
But even if the woman agrees to go out on a date, you didn't gain anything for that either.
What did you gain or lose from that? Like,
Right.
it doesn't begin in the day. It doesn't, none of that happens. And it's just because the day is with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You make your day. I got a saying at work when people come in all pissed off or I made them pissed off. I should I enjoy that. Anyway, my
I
saying
didn't
is
piss you off. You allowed yourself to be pissed off.
your bad day will not be my bad day. So whatever your bad day is not going to be my bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Like my day is set by me. So it has nothing to do with you. So my thing is we got to start living life. And this happens when you really know yourself, when you really enjoy being with yourself, when you really enjoy your life. One, you'll start to display that, and people are going to be like, "Man, wow, what's so great about you? About your life. You live over here in this little square." I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying that, whatever. When you really see somebody enjoying their life, people start to look like, what is making you so happy?
Mm-hmm.
In this world, in this fucked up world today, what is making you go through here, skipping and enjoying life? And when you let them know it's me, that's how I operate.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay, if they really just have like a decent life, things aren't crazy or struggling or whatever, yet they're still not doing what you're suggesting, then shout out to Miles. They got to learn how to do some appreciation.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who have lives that you look at and go, there's nothing for you to complain about, yet they're not doing what you're suggesting, Jay. And it's because they don't appreciate what they have. None of it is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, okay, you're going to go through life with a not good enough mentality, and it's going to permeate through all of your interactions.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's all right to strive for more, but if what you have, you're like, oh, this sucks.
Right.
Like, not good enough. Like, it's just going to ruin everything.
Yep. Gratitude is everything. Seriously.
Yep.
So they're looking for people to bring them something that they themselves should be bringing to themselves.
Right.
They're obligating people outside of them to bring them joy.
Right.
To bring them happiness.
Hey, Richard,
Yeah.
real quick. So if you your life as it stands right now, what scale of 1 to 10 or percentage wise out of 100, what are you operating on?
What I'm operating on right now, it used to be a 70, but now it's a 40. But I do enjoy the peace that I have.
Wait. So you said it went from 70% to 40%. Why?
Yeah, because remember the last time you spoke, you said it was lower, and I told you, and I said I would agree.
Okay, so why is it 40%?
Well, I still need to figure out who I am, and I still don't have an identity.
So since the last time we spoke, what have you done to help figure out who you are?
Nothing. Just watch the live streams.
Not to be honest, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing
All right.
else.
Cool. Makes sense to me. You got all the time in the world, bro. Just sit there and just stay where you're at and keep experiencing the same thing, because that's what you want to do, right?
No.
Because the victim mindset is comfortable for you, correct?
No.
You sure?
It's not.
It's not. But you're not willing to do anything else.
I am.
Bro.
What are you willing to do?
Now he knows what to do. Just shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
There's not one thing. There's not one thing anybody can say to make you work.
Exactly.
You have to do work.
So, Rickster, are you on the masculine identity?
I was. It was a promotion for 99 cents, but it's over.
Oh, really? Oh, really? So it got too pricey for you, huh?
Yeah, right now I'm just here to just save my money and stuff. Once I have enough money, then I'll definitely to you guys.
So, bro, let me ask you a question. You say you're 33 years old, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Were you ever married and divorced?
No.
So, are you paying for like a sick parent? Are you helping somebody out financially?
No.
Do you work full time?
Yeah.
Do you have any expensive hobbies or habits?
Outside of
playing video games, no. To be honest.
Right. So you're not like either like buying weed or whatever, alcohol.
No. I'm
shopping,
not.
shopping.
Sporadically. Fit to me.
Okay, so what do you do with your fucking money? Why you can't be on somebody's membership? That's what we're trying to get to, bro.
Right now, I'm using my money to invest into myself. Right now, into the stock market and stuff. Like I said, once I have enough money, because the monthly memberships, everything, I know it doesn't cost a lot, but I need to make enough money in order for me to be like, hey, I have enough money to,
No. You just don't see the value in it yet.
Let me ask you a question. While you were on the membership for 99 cents for 30 days, did you write down any notes or anything so you could use anything you had while you were off the membership?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, Rickster, I'm gonna let you go, bro. I'm gonna let you go. You know what you need to do. Go ahead and fucking do it. You're a grown ass man. The fuck out of here. All right. 512, you are live on the Manhood is a Skill Set show with Kay Zaggin, Jay Roman, Mr. Justin, and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Yo, this is AR on the chat. I'm 31 and I'm calling out of Dallas.
All right, what's going on, AR? What's the question?
So it's more of a comment. So I just recently became a high school teacher, right?
Congratulations.
And appreciate it. And through the training, majority of the training, aside from like the subject that you teach, is all about developing a program. They hand you like books and books and books on developing a program within your classroom, but most importantly, outside of your classroom. Right?
Interesting.
So on Wednesday, I had this meeting around like 7 p.m., right? Like after school. And it was like 50 something teachers in there, right? And majority of them, like 90% of them were women, right? And all of them, every single one of them has a strict program based around their lives. Like they all busted out their schedules, their little like journals. And all these women have a strict program from the fucking second they wake up, 6:30 a.m. to the second they go to sleep.
Right.
Like literally, like I wake up at 6:30. From 6:30 to 6:45, I take a shower. From 6:45 to 7, I make my breakfast. From 7 to 7:30, I get to school.
We got it.
Crazy program.
Right.
And that's what a lot of these guys lack. is it a strict program within themselves.
Exactly.
Right. So like this dude, he doesn't, like the last dude, right, doesn't know anything about himself. And I guarantee you, if we were to like dig deep into his life and figure out like what he does on a daily basis, there's no program.
Right.
With majority,
well,
like
see,
even
God,
the
no, hold on. Guys like him, you know, shout out to Rickster because he, you know, he watches us and you know he supports the show, so shout out to him. But but honestly, bro, at the same time, I want you guys to know that if you watch us and you don't actually use what the fuck we say and apply it to your life and improve your life, get the fuck out of here. Don't fucking watch me. Don't watch me. I'm speaking for myself. Cause I know it's a business. I don't want to fuck up anybody else's business. But me personally, I don't do this for the fucking numbers, bro. If you're watching me and you're not changing your life, anything I've said hadn't really made you get up and do some extra shit to make a difference in your life, then leave me the fuck alone, bro. Leave me alone. Get the fuck out of here. All of you victims, I don't need you over here. Really. All you victims, overthinkers, and all you guys that are just stuck, this ain't the place for you. Right? You're looking for somebody to hold you by the hand, give you a fucking hug, and to come to your house and wake you up and say, hey, man, make your bed, brush your teeth, do some push-ups, go to work, do this, talk to a couple of girls on your way home, this, that, and the third. You want me to come fucking do it for you. This is not the place, bro. This ain't the place. You could click off right now, okay? But what I'll say is guys like Rickster is the type of guy who they do, like you heard him, he's talking about, well, you know, I'm trying to invest on the stock market. There are people out there who love to do a lot of busy work and disguise it as progress when there's still just stagnation. Mm-hmm. They do shit that they claim is improving their life. Rickster's problem is not money, so he doesn't even need to be investing in the fucking stock market. Rickster's problem is his fucking mindset. So he needs to be investing in changing his mindset, but he doesn't want to do that because that would take actual work. How much work does it take to put money in stocks? It's probably a click of a button on his fucking phone. Huh? Mm-hmm. But if I'm investing and I'm getting more money, then that'll put me in position so I can start to invest in myself as far as, no, motherfucker. Take the money directly to the coaching. And stop doing distraction work to make you feel as if you're making progress when you're just spinning in circles. Go ahead, Zach.
No, see, what Rickster revealed when he admitted that he was on Miles's Masculine Identity membership.com, by the way, y'all. When he admitted that he was only there for the 99-cent sell, what he is essentially saying is, I don't see the value in myself. I'm only worth 99 cents. The moment the price goes up, that's too expensive for me to pay because I don't see that I'm worthy of anything more than that. Exactly. So I'm going to do the bare minimum to try and get the maximum out of my life. Life doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. So
what you put in is what you get out.
Well, he knew it was going to be a waste of money for him because he wasn't going to do none of that work.
He wasn't going to do nothing.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, hey, you're financially savvy. Yeah, you're financially savvy. Anybody looking at the stock market, you got some money to invest. And so you're making money decisions. And what he realized was, I'm not going to do none of the work, you know, to put whatever the rest of the money was for it. And I think that it's really sad to be at the cusp of knowledge, understanding, and what you need to do, and then you don't have the drive to bring it home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I won't never understand that. Mm-hmm. You know what to do. You've thought about it. You realize, one of the biggest awakening is for people to realize, hey, I'm the problem, right? I'm the one that's messing things up. So you already took that step. You found some people that you kind of agree with because you've been searching online. You've seen the red pill. I don't know what that is. I've never seen any of their discussions or anything like that. But you were looking at that, and then you found something else that resonates a little bit more with you. Mm-hmm. That you can say, you know what? I think this is better because this other thing is making me feel a certain way. This is making me feel a little bit better. They got programs. Let me just stop here because I'm not going to do any other work.
Facts.
No, Rickster, he's like a lot of guys. He's like a game squatter. Okay, what I mean by game squatter, he want to post up on some of these channels and listen to a bunch of shit, but he don't want to do the work to actually become the very thing that we're teaching guys about.
Right.
Because it requires some level of self-sacrifice. It requires that, and he don't want to do that, right? And I guarantee you, if you want to look at his bank account statements, he got OnlyFans. I promise you, he does. I promise you right now.
Money on bullshit.
Or he spends the money. But caller, I'm sorry, we took the conversation away from me, bro. You were getting to a point, or you just wanted to talk about how these women got these planners and these set schedules and shit, and how important having a program is.
That part, but then also like this next part, right? Like these, like more like the average dude can't dream big. They have like these like small little goals where like their favorite word to use is trying or sometimes, right? Like that's their favorite words. Trying, I'm trying, right? Like I'm trying to get into the stock market, or sometimes I do this, right? So like last thing I'll say, like my ex-girl, right? She, one time when we were dating, right? She told me like she wants to be a model, right? Typical girl, whatever. All women want to be models. She wasn't trying to be a model. She, like, out of nowhere, I'm seeing her on my Instagram Explore page, on Vogue, on like these magazines. And I'm like, see, that's the shit I'm talking about. These women, when they have a goal that they want to reach, a dream that they want to fulfill, they just do it. Like that becomes part of their program. They don't try. They don't, sometimes they go to shoots. Like, it's like they're either all in or all out. There is no 90%. So when the last dude said, like, what level are you operating at, right? If 100% doesn't come out of your mouth, like that second that you ask that question, you ain't doing it. You ain't doing nothing with your life.
Exactly.
Like if the answer is not 100% and you say it like at the drop of a hat, you ain't doing nothing, and you're probably never gonna do nothing with your life. That's all I wanted to say.
Facts.
All right, appreciate that.
I appreciate it, caller. Take it easy, bro.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
All right.
Yeah, y'all too.
I'm sitting here.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'd like to say there's a big difference between a program for an educational thing or your personal life and having a program in a relationship. Okay. What he was describing was just being responsible about time. Okay?
Right.
And that can be a certain part of your program if that's how you live, right? But having a program for yourself and your relationship is vastly different than just being responsible with time.
Right. So Unique 79 with the 50, he says, to feed what off J. Roman said in regards to what you have gained, you gain no regret because you did what you wanted to do. You got what you wanted regardless of the outcome, which is going after what you wanted in the first place, and you did it. Now, let me say this about the last caller. He was talking about the young lady wanting to be a model, and she achieved it. You know, Fabulous in the Rap one time said, and I might misquote him. He said his plan B is to make sure his plan A doesn't fail, or some shit like that. Right? And B is like, and for you to even have that type of mindset, number one, you have to believe in yourself. Okay? You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe not only do you have what it takes to succeed, but you have to have the discipline to make it come to fruition. Unfortunately, some guys are cool with just paying for pussy their whole life, or they cool to jacking off to images of women. And they cool with that. Now, if there's nothing wrong with, on the surface, there's nothing wrong with porn. Let me get that out the way, right? But if you allow the watching of porn to stagnate you to the point where you don't even go out and talk to women, that's a problem. And to me, that's a lowly existence. Y'all got it.
Facts.
I was just gonna say that.
I was gonna say if we could get some questions and then kind of wrap. We got
a couple questions there from Dan
and
Boys.
So it's okay. This one, you have to get to this one. Even when I'm nervous, I still approach women regardless of my emotions.
Yes.
What kind of emotions are you feeling? I mean,
nervousness.
My stomach is
The
queasy.
only way to not be nervous about doing anything that's new is to keep doing it until you're conditioned to it, and then it's not a big deal.
Keep doing it. Exactly.
Like every skydiver was nervous the first time they jumped out of a plane. After 20, 30 jumps, you're like eating a sandwich on the way down.
Facts.
There you go. So he says, why do I feel myself going backwards when I'm not learning it? Yo, man, y'all need to call in. Like, we don't know what the fuck.
Well, it's funny because they answer the question for themselves in the question. Why do I feel myself going backwards when not learning game? Because you're not learning game.
There you go.
You're not. You just said it. You're not learning game. That's why you're going backwards.
There you go. I think you just meant, should I do something concrete if she does not perform a certain sexual act? Y'all motherfuckers, bro. Okay, hold on. But I want this act for myself. What can I tell it to influencer? Bro, you're literally treating it like a sexual transaction. If you do this thing for me sexually, I'll do this thing for you non-sexually. Bro, you don't reward no woman because she sucked your dick.
No, he's saying he wants to be able to influence her mind so that he can get what he wants. Okay. So that means your want is leading you. You're not in control of your desires or your impulses. So therefore you're trying to change her into something that you can basically masturbate with. All right. You're way off kilter, man. And it's like verging on creepiness.
There you go. There you go. That's up to your question. So he says, how much cologne should I have on going out versus having her come over to my place? Yo, man, y'all grown man asking these fucking questions. Y'all want to answer that shit, man?
Well, yeah, everyone's gonna be different. Like I've known guys who they spray it in the air and then they walk into it because they don't like a strong smell. Okay. Right. First of all, I'd say learn the difference between what a like eau de cologne is, what eau de toilette is. There's like 4 or 5 different versions, and it depends on like the amount of oil that's used, like the concentration of oil. So I think there's like 4 or 5 different versions of that, and in varying degrees of like lightness to like a heavy odor. Okay, right. That stays with you for a long time or evaporates quick. All right, what I do is 4, right, on either side of my neck and on each wrist. Well, like one wrist, and then I just kind of like rub it together. That's what I like to do. I'd also advise having at least, at the very minimum, 4 different types of colognes, 1 for each season. Okay, don't wear some summery, fresh feeling light cologne in the fucking dead of winter. Okay, the dead of winter should be like like a darker, heavier, more masculine, sort of like slower smell, right? And then the spring, summer, fall, they all have a different attitude. So have at least 4 different ones. This is what I do, but like just wear however much you like to wear, whether she's coming over or you're going out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a difference in how much.
Yeah, that's a weird question.
I didn't think there was a difference. I mean, you putting on cologne and you have a routine of how you, and this is what I'm talking about. Like guys don't even have a routine of how they like to put on cologne. You understand? Like is everybody just flying by the seat of their pants when it comes to life? Is that really what y'all doing out here? Like life is just moving. I just like, I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to put on cologne. I don't know what to eat. I don't know how to talk to girls. I don't know how to dress. Like, this is what's really going on. Like, come on, guys. Pick something and don't be afraid to pick it. Because that's a big problem too. Like, you guys, you care so much what people think, you're afraid to choose something and just go with it.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
If I put on cologne, the last thing I'm thinking about is what the bitch is gonna think. You know what I'm saying? Do you got on too much? You don't got on enough? I'm not worried about all that shit. Like, it ain't that serious. But I will say this to you guys. If you guys are overly concerned with that, buy yourself the little gift package that has the little fucking body wash, the aftershave, and a little deodorant. That way you hit all the spots. You know what I'm saying? Your underarm smell good. You done wash the balls with the shit. Do that. There you have it. Thank me later, goddamn it.
I would say don't come out the door and spray cologne masking a unwashed body. I'm assuming that it's part of your regiment before you go out or invite her over, and that shower is part of that. As far as over the house, I mean, to me, I think people overthink this stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole thing is you want a comfortable place for yourself. I'm a very clean person, so I have different scents in the house going on. That's what I like. If I want to smell a certain way, I smell that way, either spray or cologne. I don't debate about, the seasoning. I'm learning something here just with the season and the cologne. I find out what smells good on me, what I like, and that's what I rock with. Not everything smells good with everybody's body chemistry.
No, they don't.
So you got to figure that out, and hopefully you got some friends around you to be like, hey man, that cologne ain't rocking with you, brother.
Right.
Here's some game for that real quick, because you're right, Jay. Like, you could recommend a cologne that doesn't vibe with my chemistry, and it smells like shit, but it smells great on you. Go on eBay, guys, and you can get samples. There's like stores on eBay where you can get like 1 ounce to 3 ounce samples of tons of cologne, and they're only like a few dollars each, right? And they range from like $5 upwards to like $10, but you can get tons of samples, and you're not going to waste your money on like a $200 bottle of cologne. You get it, you're like, oh, this kind of sucks, right? So you can test out a bunch of samples and then find out what you like, then get the big bottle, or just stick with small ones, if you just like to change it up and experiment.
And I'll say this as well. When it comes to cologne and personal hygiene, again, be confident in your choice. Love what you like. I'm going to say that again. Love what you like. A lot of guys, you still don't get it. We tell you every fucking day, the game is about you. Listen, wear the cologne that you enjoy the scent. If a woman gives you a compliment, that's just icing on the cake. Don't wear the cologne for the compliment. Wear the cologne because you like how it smells. Wear the cologne because that's how you want to show up in the room. I want to smell like this. I want to look like this. I want to dress like this. If somebody says, damn, man, you look sharp, you smell good too, that's just whatever. And if somebody says, I don't like your outfit and you smell like shit, it doesn't matter. Don't do anything. Don't worry about the compliments and don't worry about the insults. Live your life for you. That is the thing. Because guess what? You will attract the people who are on your wavelength. The problem with so many guys is that they're afraid to choose a wavelength. They're afraid to say, this is my wavelength, and then live in that wavelength. Because they want to try to get on everybody's wavelength, because they want everybody to like them. That is not the way to live your fucking life. You will never make any progress that way. Do things because you enjoy it. And then the people that are on that type of time will find you. That's what it's really all about.
Yeah, like right now, I like a fabric softener. Did you know they have fabric softener oil now? And when you walk in a room, I find the domesticated women really quick because they like, woo, your clothes smell really good.
You smell like Downy?
No. Man, they got these oils that you put in your last rinse or your fabric softener, and it stays longer.
Wow.
And, when I tell you that I got clothes that's been in my closet right now for a month, when I pull it out, my partner at work was the first one, because he was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know what you wash your clothes with, but it smells good. Like every time I go to the locker room, it smells really good. And I'll say, oh yeah, that's my new little fabric softener. And it's an oil, because oils stay longer and they, perfume a lot more scent. Right. And you put that thing in there, boy. I'm telling you, man.
On the last rinse, how do you put it in on the last rinse?
So you just squeeze like a little couple squirts on like when you do your Downy, like the fabric softener container itself.
The little compartment for the softener. Oh, nice.
And that part. So you put a little of the fabric softener, you squirt that in there, and boom! I'm talking about your clothes smell great.
I learned something new today. And
I'll send y'all the link. I got it from my sister when I went down to Arizona to visit her. She hooked me up because I was sitting in some sheets. And I was like, God damn, it's the comfort of the smell alone. And I said, I wash my clothes with a lot of fabric softener because I like that smell, but it's just lasted. The 3 days I was here was lasting.
I thought,
like, oh yeah, I got this oil.
That's dope.
I'll give you a little bit. And I said, no, where'd you get it? She's like, oh, I don't know if I want to tell you yet. It's my sister. She wants to tease me a little bit. Hold off. That's what siblings do.
Yeah.
But she hooked me up. So yeah, man, I'm telling you.
That's dope.
Let me find out you out here dabbing gain like this.
I do spray it on my clothes. I mix it up with some water and I spray it on my clothes, my jackets, things I'm not going to throw on the wash every day, but I spray it and fresh it up. And when I tell you, man, it's noticeable. It's noticeable.
I'm gonna tell you that really works because I'm big on fabric softener, especially for my socks and my drawers. That's gonna be closest to your body when you disrobe it for a bitch, right? It's your draw. You know, you don't want your drawers coming off and it smell like musty nutsack and you know what I'm saying? So if it smells like some Downy, you know what I'm saying, that might work. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's what's up.
Hey, I want to rewind just for a little bit. You know, I noticed that in the chat, fucking Dan got all tight, and to his question, I need to address something. All right, so it's sort of like wanting certain sexual acts. The reason why there's not really a concrete thing, all right, is because if it's within the realm of say normal, right, where let's say you want her to ride you, all right, you just tell her what to do.
Right.
All right. There's other things that require much more consent or training. Okay. So if you're like, if whatever he wants, because that's why it's really specific, like we got to know what it is he wants. If he's like, I want a down to the hilt sloppy throating, that can't happen off the fly. That actually requires training. Okay. And if she hasn't been trained to do this sort of thing and she's reluctant to do it, you're not going to get what you want because it requires consistent training to get that to happen, right? Or any other like, you know, adventurous sexual act, all right? So if it's somewhat, you know, benign and normal, you just tell them, say, hey, you do this, do it like this is how I like it, or whatever. But if it's a little bit edging into the more extreme or into the extreme end of things, you can't just say do this because that's violating their consent, and they may not even be trained or accustomed to any of that sort of stuff.
Right.
Just wanted to get that out there.
All right, gentlemen. So in closing, y'all want to plug anything before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. As always, you know, holla at me on Instagram. Miles in the Game on Instagram. Miles in the Game on Instagram. Make sure y'all get the soap, man. Make sure y'all get the soap and holla at the masculine identity membership.com and the badboy membership.com. Appreciate the panel. Appreciate the callers. Appreciate the chat. Thank you very much.
Mr. Justin, you got anything?
Yeah. Just, you know, the new website, thedominancecademy.com. Check it out. I've got 3 awesome tiers. One's just all video. The next is video documentation, and you get 2 calls with me per month. And then the last tier is just the full flagship program, you know, and it's a full-on commitment of 12 months.
Jay Roman, you got anything you want to plug? I know you and 50 are doing that cigar joint.
Yeah. On me and 50 on Mondays, we're doing a cigar lounge, which is basically Mac and Mondays, talking to individuals that want to call in and talk about this thing game. And also, of course, I'm going to plug the show for tomorrow. You know, that these gentlemen, or well, some of these gentlemen are on, you know, Real Game, No Theory. Always catch it. It's always entertaining for me.
Yep.
And if anybody wants to contact me, it's at Gmail, J Roman Way, Jay Roman Way. At Gmail, I respond to my emails right now. If you want to have a discussion on there. Besides that, Zag, always appreciative to have me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen.
Not a problem. I appreciate all y'all coming through. Dope show. In my opinion, very informative for a lot of men who actually want to learn some shit. And again, gentlemen, men are not victims in the dating game. You're not a victim. And if you were a victim, then you created your own victimhood because of your poor choices and your lack of self-respect. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to point that out. Y'all have a great day. We see y'all tomorrow. Peace.